Welcome back to another alcohol-free RV. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about how I make battery cables, inverter cables, and other high power cables like that. You know, high amperage, big heavy gauge cable, and getting those terminals on so we can connect them to our devices. So we're going to teach you how to get a terminal end onto the end of big fat wire like this. Again, it's welding cable, so it's pretty flexible, but I've cut it to length, and then I've got a mark on the wire. I like that how flexible it is. I've got a mark on the wire that's going to be how far in I want to be able to push the connector. So the first thing that we've got to do is obviously expose the copper. And so because this cable is really big, I don't have a wire stripper this big, so I'm going to carefully use a utility knife. I just go around in as straight a line as I can. And there you have some 900 different individual strands of wire.
That's funny.
Now, because this is going to be, you know, in a vehicle, and I want to make sure I have really good connectivity, I have some dielectric grease that I'm going to spread on the wires first. And I have this extra mark here so I know which way is up when I'm going to be putting this connector on. But this is just kind of like Vaseline or whatever, and I like to coat these wires just a little bit. I mean, it doesn't have to be super gobbed on there. Just a thin coating should be good. I should have got a paper towel.
I can go grab some.
No, we're good.
Okay.
I just wiped it on the bottom of the on the bottom of the table. And then the connector, when it goes on, you can choose whichever way you want to put it on. I would like to have it going that way. We'll leave that for a moment. And then cap this up. And we're ready to go ahead and crimp. So I've got it pressed all the way in. And this crimper that I got is adjustable. And to adjust it, you just kind of press on these and spin it. Now, this is good for 8 gauge up to 1/0, which is what I have. I don't know where he just went.
It's 1/0.
Yeah, it's 1/0. So, gotta make sure that it's set to the right setting. And these things give you a lot of extra leverage. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it set, and then if you want to try to push this down, we've got a big project coming up next week that's going to need to use these processes. So take this moment, like, subscribe, and you'll see that video when it comes out. You're getting it a little bit more. There you go. Good job. That was tight. So that makes a pretty nice crimp on that connector. Now, because the length of this barrel is longer than the width of the jaws, I'm going to line this up and do a second one.
Okay.
You did this one right.
Yeah.
I just like to do an extra one.
Okay.
It's tough to get it open all the way.
Yeah.
So what I do is just try to line it up so that the angle's approximately the same for the second crimp, just so it's, you know, consistent. And give it a quick go. It's a lot easier for someone big with more leverage, but got it pretty well lined up. See?
Yay!
Now we have our heat gun out. What did you call it?
Heat taser.
It's a heat taser. All right.
Instead, because it doesn't have a grip, but it has a barrel.
Okay. I like to use heat shrink tubing on connections like this. It makes a real nice finish. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna measure out, cover up my little spot there. And this is 3/4 inch, 3:1 shrinkage. So it'll become about 1/3 of this size once it's
That's tiny.
heat shrunk. And it's dual layer, so it's actually got an adhesive layer of plastic on the inside. But
This is basically a heat shrink ray.
it's a heat shrink ray, yes.
We've changed it to heat taser and then heat shrink ray.
This thing was like 20 bucks on Amazon, give or take, and it does the job. It's not something like a professional would use, but I am far from professional. I like to make it look professional. You got to get it pretty close,
Wow.
and then you can see it start to go.
Yeah, because I see it shrinking down
Yeah.
and attaching to it.
So my camera angles are not going to be great.
I've got it as perfect as I can, so. Looks pretty much like it was shrinking. Today it's not smelling as bad.
Now, when this was brand new, it smelled terribly.
Yeah,
Okay. Go ahead and turn that off so you can hear. And if you look very closely, right on the edge of where the shrink tubing meets the wire, there's a very, very light, clear
I
line.
see that. I see it.
And that is the adhesive. So this is actually fully weatherproof sealed now. So that should be pretty good.
Yeah.
Now I wanted to just do a quick comparison. I did the other end with a lighter, and a lighter leaves a lot of darkened residue, basically sooty burn material. Functionally it works the same, it just doesn't look quite as nice, but
I mean, I remember you did do it with a lighter last time, but it was shrinking. I saw it.
yep. So that's the comparison. How do you make your cables? Why don't you leave a comment down below and let me know what you do. Next week I've got a video that's coming out. It's going to show me using these cables so that I can charge my batteries while we're on the road. Thanks for watching this episode of the Alcohol Free RV. My name's Todd, and we do mods, repairs, and upgrades along the way. We'll see you next time.